Hayden Mez, welcome to the podcast.
Thank you for having me.
I'm so freaking excited. So say your last name so people know.
It's Meserops.
Meserops, but everyone calls you Mez.
Yeah.
That's hard to pronounce.
It very.
Okay, Hayden, what has it been, like a year?
It's been about a year. Yeah.
Since we've last hung out?
Uh-huh.
Oh my gosh. Okay, so Hayden is known in my phone as Hayden the DILF.
There it is.
Because he's a DILF.
Good way to start it.
What am I in your phone as?
Should we show the people?
Yeah, show the people. The best part is I called him the other night and he was like, dude, you came up and I was with like 8 people and with
Can't show a notification. You can't really see it. Jen is milfing around.
That's my favorite. Jen is milfing around.
That's
yeah.
so good.
I love it. So good. Okay, well, welcome to the podcast.
Thank you.
You have such a unique story. Also, how long have you been sober for?
Around a year and 3 months.
Okay, I'm so proud of you.
Yeah, thank
it's
you.
awesome. So we probably hung out like right as you were becoming sober. Okay, and I loved what you said about being behind a microphone. So tell me why you agreed to do this and even with your music career.
I think the biggest thing for me is I was so influenced by so many people in my life in a good way and a bad way.
Yeah.
So I kind of told myself that, when I get out of rehab and if I go on podcasts and tell my story and stuff like that, I want to make sure that it's really impactful for people. And I think my biggest thing is just making sure that people feel like they're not alone.
I love that.
I think it's really hard in this society and this day and age now to, connect with people just with like all the social media stuff and everybody's just.
Well, it's a highlight reel, so it's not real.
Yeah. So I just feel like some people just don't realize that, what you're going through, somebody's going through the exact same thing.
Yeah.
That's a lot of things I learned in rehab too. It's like just being around this group of people that, all feel like so broken and so outcasted in a way, but you get around the exact same type of people as you, like in these closed spaces and you learn about them and you don't have a phone and you don't have any of the outside distractions and you just get to really learn about who these people are. And I just want to like bring that to the outside world and, give people the opportunity to like connect with somebody, if it is through a screen or through listening to a podcast or through something like that, to know that they can go, on the internet or social media or something like that and connect with somebody that's been through similar things.
I love that. And this is going to be the last episode of season 2. So I think it's like the perfect like finale to that. So, okay, how long were you in rehab for? Because you said you didn't have a phone or anything.
This last time I was in there for 30 days.
Okay.
Yeah.
How was that?
It was amazing.
Okay.
Yeah. I think I've been multiple times and, I've gone for all the wrong reasons before. I had been a couple years before that and I kind of just went to check off boxes and, do better and, build those relationships back up just to like look good on paper.
Okay.
And this time it was just more of just like really just kind of I've given up on the way I've been living and obviously I'm not doing it the correct way. So there's something that needs to change and kind of going in there without expectations because I'd been through many rehabs before and I know the drill. I can sit in a room for 8 hours of therapy and put myself somewhere else and not
really like disassociate and just say the right things and just, okay.
So it was me just kind of going in there this time and hearing and knowing why I'm there, like understanding the reasons I'm there and like, why am I back here this time? Like what is it that's bringing me to the place where I feel like I need to get this type of help again?
Right.
So it was just like more of me just like kind of sitting back at the beginning and listening and trying to understand, what is it that I need from this time?
What was the catalyst for that you actually did it for the right reasons this time?
That's a good question. I think I was just so sick of the way that I was living. I was just tired.
Yeah.
I was just not wanting to continue the way I was living. And I was close to the point of, not wanting to live at all.
Right.
And, getting to that point where you want to like take your own life. And it was just like, okay, if I don't change something now, this isn't going to change. And then I also, understand the hurt and the pain of losing people to suicide and things like that. And I'm like, okay, why am I so selfish in this moment to want to do that to myself, understanding the hurt and pain that it caused other people? Yeah. It's like, if I do that, and that's just, it's very selfish. And even though in that moment you don't think it's selfish, and in that moment you are just so focused on, why
the pain,
how bad my life is and
yeah,
all these things, but you don't really think of like the outside effect that it can have. And I think that was a big thing for me because I'm such a people person and I love everybody around me, and my friends and family, it's like I'm so close with them, and not even having like a thought about them in that moment also kind of scared me, because it's like I'm not that type of person. It's like I love my friends and I love everything, all the connections that we have, and just not even feeling anything towards that was kind of making me want to understand like why is this happening.
Well, and I've talked to you about like the last couple of years I've struggled with my mental health a lot, and I've been in those dark places, and it's like it's so hard because you're so in so much pain that you don't think about others, and it's just like I just want this to stop. Do you feel like your music career and you're killing it right now with your boys? It's Cigarette Summer.
Yeah, it's Cigarette Summer.
What the hell does Cigarette Summer mean? What's Cigarette Summer, baby?
Honestly, at the beginning of the summer, we just like, it's cool because we didn't have like any like extravagant plans, any trips, crazy. Like people just think it's like to have this amazing summer. It's just like you have to do all these crazy stuff. It's like, no, like we just get together as like, I just have like this group of guys right now that I'm so close with, and
I love that for you.
We just are like having the most fun out of every situation that we put ourselves in. And I think the biggest thing is just like we just don't give a fuck about what people think,
and that's good.
And it's just like we're out at say a bar or something like that, and we are dancing like crazy. Like you probably think we're insane, and we don't care. And it's just like fun stuff like that you don't really care about what other people think. And Cigarette Summer just came along because we just like smoking cigarettes on the boat, and we're like, it's summer. Smoking cigarettes. We're like, fuck, it's Cigarette Summer.
It's fucking Cigarette Summer.
It's just like this metaphor that we like all have right now. It's just like it's more than just like Cigarette Summer, but it's just like being in the moment, and just like being able to really be there with the guys and enjoy every single moment.
Yeah.
It's been something that we've been saying, and it's been great.
Have these been your friends since you've been sober? So you found them after?
Yeah. Well, I haven't found them after, but we've gotten
closer.
I've just kind of kept a small circle.
You need to.
Just because I know myself and I'm very influenced by other people. But these guys really push me, and that's something I'm not comfortable with. And it's like I've always put myself around people where I know I can get away with shit.
Okay.
And these guys don't let that happen, and they'll call me on my shit, and
good.
We won't argue, but we'll disagree. But like it's like healthy disagreements where they're like, okay, like dude, you're fucking up. Like
they support your sobriety.
Yeah, exactly.
I love that for you. Do you feel like your friendships and your career in music thrived post rehab?
Yeah, definitely. I was just living such a dishonest lifestyle before. Every relationship in my life was very surface level.
Okay.
I didn't have many connections that I felt were super true, because I was either trying to be somebody else or get myself to the next spot in a certain situation the easiest way possible. So that was just me kind of faking relationships and just trying to put myself on the forefront rather than like getting to know people and wanting a connection. It was just kind of like, okay, like what is this person offering me, and how can I
like it's transactional.
Yeah.
Okay.
And now it's like my relationships are just so, there's just so much like love at the beginning of just like, okay, like I have a connection with you, and I'm so grateful that like it goes both ways as well, because like the guys in my life right now, it's like I would die for them. So it's amazing.
Yeah. Okay, I want to talk about, we'll get to your journey with God, because I think that's really incredible. I want to talk to you about when I first met you. That's what I was like, you have the craziest story about that camp in Utah.
Yeah.
Is it the same camp that Paris Hilton went to?
It's not the exact same one. It's like sister schools. It's like they're all under this huge umbrella.
Okay. Because she's called them out a lot for abuse.
She got hers shut down.
Okay.
She went to Provo Canyon School.
Okay.
Mine was like probably like 5 miles away.
Okay. Still in Utah.
But I went to 3 different places over a span of 26 months.
Okay. And they kidnapped you in the night, essentially, right?
Like the process is like your parents are really worried about what you're doing in your life at the moment, and they go and get counsel or advisement on what to do.
Right.
And they suggest that you send your kids off to these wilderness camps and then an RTC, which is a residential treatment center.
Okay.
And if they think that your kid is going to be defiant and leaving and not go, what they do is they hire what's called transporters.
Okay.
And we call them goons.
Okay, goons.
Yeah.
Okay.
So they hire these transporters, and there's these people who come into your room in the middle of the night and basically take you.
Okay.
And yeah, it's
I'm sure that's traumatizing.
Pretty traumatizing, yeah. In my point, I thought I was going to the airport in the morning, so it was like they came in really, really early in the morning. It's two guys, and they basically were just like, "Get up, you're coming with us." I was so like out of it. I was like still trying to wake up. I thought because my mom had told me we were taking a taxi to the airport.
Okay.
Because we have a house in Park City.
Okay.
So we were up there for a ski trip, and I'm like, why the fuck are the taxi drivers in my room?
Yeah.
I was like so confused at first. And then I was like freaking out. I was like, oh fuck, like what's going on? And then they're like, you're coming with us. And they like grab me and pull me down the stairs.
Were they aggressive?
They were like, they definitely were like assured me enough. Like if you try something, we're going to take you down.
Yeah.
So, I mean, they put their hands on me and, guided me down the stairs, out the room, into the car, and put me in the car. And that's when we like gave me a letter that like my parents had written me. And it's just like, at that time, I'm just like, ugh, like I don't want to read. I just ripped it up.
Yeah.
But they were telling me, oh, like you're going to camp, you'll be able to wakeboard, like all this stuff, trying to like calm me down. And really, you just get transported out into the middle of nowhere, in the middle of like the Utah desert. They have like a base camp. And you go to this base camp, and you're like, I was 15 years old, get completely naked in front of staff and squat and cough and make sure they don't have anything and do all these like intro tests and stuff like that. And then they give you your clothes and your boots and like this, like a hiker's backpack. And then they put you in a car and they like blindfold you for the first part. So you can't like run.
Okay.
So it's like, they make sure that
you can't
see where you're going for like the first, I don't know, like 30, 40, maybe even, I don't remember how long it was. And then you get out into the field and it feels like you're just away from all civilization.
Okay.
And then
What's going through your head at this time?
I was so confused. I was angry.
Yeah,
but I was really scared.
Yeah.
At the time, because I was like, am I going to get to go home? Am I
like, is this yeah?
Yeah. It feels like it's forever.
And they don't communicate with you.
No,
really,
they tell you the most minimal things possible.
Okay.
Because they don't want you to freak out.
Yeah.
And they just like drive you out into the middle of the wilderness, and then they just drop you with 8 other kids and 4 staff. And for the first 3 days at this program, you like were at your own, like you have to like, you're at like such low level, you have your own fire that you're by, you're not allowed to talk to anybody.
Stop.
For 3 days. You can only talk to staff and your therapist like at the most minimal amount.
Okay.
Then you have to do all like these therapy lessons and like this book work and like learn how to make your own fire and like stuff like that. And then you can like get integrated into the group. And then that's when you meet all the other boys.
Do you have to like survive and find your own food, or like how does that work?
No, they do like food drops.
Okay.
So like twice a week they'll come around with like these trucks and do food drops. And you'll get like a certain amount of food. You'll have like a food sack and you like fill your food sack.
And you're like out in the wilderness.
Yeah. And you're living out there. I was in there in the middle of the winter.
Stop.
So it's just like you're hiking around in snow. I think like the hardest part was like sleeping. Which is weird though, because it was like the best sleep I ever had in my life.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay.
But so sleeping, you have like these -40-degree sleeping bags and like this little sleeping mat, and you put it on the snow, the sleeping mat on the snow.
Like you're not even in a tent.
No, you have tarp, and you have to like make your like tie it to trees, and then you sleep under the tarp. And
it's like an alternate universe.
Yeah, it was like going straight from like where I grew up, as like blessed as I was, and
it's very
going to like just living in the middle of the woods. I was like, what the fuck is going on?
Yeah.
And then you hike like every other day, like up from anywhere from 5 miles to like 15 miles.
Oh my god.
And it's gnarly out there.
Do you feel like, was your camp abusive like Paris Hilton's camp was?
Not
things that she claimed?
Not the wilderness camps weren't abusive, but the RTCs were. Like the wilderness camps will be physical if you either like try to run or you get physical with the staff or you like are physical with another kid, they'll like implement what they need to.
Right.
Wilderness, I actually grew over time to like
Appreciate that. Yeah.
Because it's especially for like a boy, like it like turns you into a man really fast.
Yeah.
I don't agree with how you get there. I don't agree with a lot of like the scenarios and situations they put you in, and you feel like food deprived the entire time. But I did appreciate like how strong it made me. After that, you think you're gonna go home, and then all these wildernesses are tied into, especially in Utah, they're tied in under this huge umbrella of companies. So where you go to wilderness and then you go to an RTC, and you think you're gonna go home after wilderness. You've done
What's
the program.
RTC stand for?
Residential Treatment Center.
Okay, got it. Okay.
Which is like what Paris Hilton went to. It's
Okay.
these lockdown schools. It's basically like a juvie, but boarding school.
Okay.
You think you're going to go home, and then you get told like a couple days before, you're like, okay, you're going. And like slowly through the program, you see kids leave and they're like, oh, I'm going here, I'm going here, I'm going here. And then so slowly you're like, oh, I'm not going home. Oh. So it's like, you're like, your hopes are up for the first like couple weeks. And then you start to see people in the group leave and they're like, oh, I'm going to Crossroads, or I'm going to Discovery Ranch Academy. And for me, I went to like Discovery Ranch for boys. Okay. And, you get there and it's like, so you do like a graduation and it's like the happiest day ever. And then you finally get to go take a shower. Like you don't shower, like you can shower out there, but it's like you have like these thing called bladders where you keep all your water and stuff. Okay. You like hang it in a tree, and
oh my gosh,
you get out, you're just like have like perma dirt on you, and you're just like hair is like crazy and matted, and so like that shower after wilderness is like, holy shit,
the best shower,
like the best shower. Right. I'll never forget that shower.
Really?
Yeah. And then we went and got like a burger and stuff. My mom and my aunt flew out and took me. That shit hurt my stomach so bad because I only even eating like rice and lentils and like trail mix and some meats and stuff like that for like, I think I was there for like 67 days.
Okay. When your mom and aunt came, were you super pissed off at them and resentful?
No, I was like to the point where I was just so grateful to leave.
Yeah.
But like this is like sort of like that brainwashing that they do. It's just like they just break you down to where it's like anything that you can get out of it after. It's like, oh, I'm so grateful. I'm so like, this is amazing, like stuff like that.
Yeah.
So they had told me I was going to Discovery Ranch for boys, and I was excited to leave wilderness. I'm like, oh my gosh, I get to go sleep in a bed.
Yeah.
Everything like that. And so I went, and I remember showing up, and it's like, it's on this ranch, and it's in the middle of Mapleton, Utah. It's like,
I know exactly where that is. Yeah. It's crazy.
Yeah. Okay. It's like by like not too far away from BYU.
Like and Springville area.
Mm-hmm, yeah. And I get there and I'm in a house with, it's like 22 other boys. And there's like 4 different rooms, and everybody sleeps in bunk beds and stuff. And I'm like, okay, like, they told me it's like, you try to be here for like 3 months and you can go home. When in reality, it's like they try to keep you there for 9 months or more.
Okay.
And so I'm like, okay, I'm going to get there. I'm going to do my 3 months. I'm going to be the best kid I can. And I'm going to get out of here and go home and be the angel. Like, oh my gosh. Like, I'm not going to do anything bad ever again. Right. Like, I'll be the best kid ever. And I get there, and I didn't really understand or know what was like going on in these places. And I was just so clueless because I've been in the wilderness for so long. I have no outside contact. Like, I get there, and it's just like immediately I see a kid get restrained, and it's like they're just like acting out, and like staff there can physically put their hands on you.
Okay.
Really whenever they want.
Okay.
And so immediately I was like, okay, don't fuck up.
Yeah.
Like,
right.
Like, I'm just like, okay, like I just need to kind of keep to myself and
just lay low.
This one staff, like a weekend, I was being an angel. I was like, I'm going to be an angel and fake my way through this entire thing. Yeah. But the staff, Nick, every day, he's like, I'm going to break you, Hayden. I'm going to break you.
Like they want you.
Yeah, they're there to break you. They're there to break you down and turn you into a different person. Like,
okay.
And
that's crazy.
He was in the morning shift, and he's like, I'm going to break you, Hayden. I'm going to break you. And the motherfucker ended up breaking me.
Yeah.
I mean, I had just one day where there's this thing called consequences, and it's like, you can get a consequence for like leaving your water bottle out or saying a cuss word or like just like the littlest shit. If a staff wants to power trip you or doing like that, they'll give you a consequence. And then there's like this big wheel you can spin, and there's 16 different consequences on there, and there's like a 30-minute work project outside, an hour work project. So, like, you get put on MC. MC is like where you have to sit in a desk at all times. You have to be by staff. They have to watch you go to the bathroom if you're like at any time. If you're a lower level, they have to watch you go to the bathroom. They have to watch you shower.
Wow.
And you just get zero privacy whatsoever.
Yeah.
But I remember I was on like a work project, and I'm like, I'm not doing it.
Yeah.
Like, I'm not doing this. Like, fuck this. Fuck you. Fuck everything.
Yeah, yeah,
like, I'm done. I'm not doing this shit. Like, you won. You broke me. Whatever.
Yeah.
And that was like the first time I got like physically restrained.
Okay.
Where they were just like, I like started walking away, and they just tackled me.
Okay.
And they like put you on the ground and put you in like these holds, and they're just like basically saying, you're gonna do this or we're gonna show you that,
like, beat the shit out of you. Yeah.
So I mean, it felt like forever when I was there for the first time for 16 months.
You were there for 16 months?
I was there for 16 months, and I mean, kids came and go. Like, I saw, like, I was locked in rooms for periods at a time if I was defiant. I would go up the levels, I mean, I'll just give you the day to day. So, like, you wake up in the morning at 7 a.m., you brush your teeth, you have to, like, check off with the staff. You're, like, asked to go to the bathroom. If you're high enough level, you can go to the bathroom by yourself.
Okay.
If you're, like, level 2 and up.
Okay.
Well, it takes, like, months to get to, like, level 2. You have to get, like, checked off by all staff. So you wake up 7 a.m., you have to show staff you're brushing your teeth. You have to show them that you did hygiene, all this stuff.
Right.
Get in line, get your meds. They try to pump you with all these fucking meds.
Yeah.
And then you go, and then what a cool part about it is that you got to raise these little calves. So like everybody got a calf.
Okay, wait, that's
like
a little silver lining, kind of.
Yeah, until they like took them from you.
Oh.
And probably wouldn't kill them.
Okay. Oh shit.
They everybody got a calf. So first thing we do is we'd wake up, do hygiene, all that stuff, and then we would go and feed our calves like bottles and stuff like that. And everybody had their own calf. And then after that, we would it depends on which house you're in. There's 3 houses. Either go to PE, breakfast, or some sort of like therapy session.
Okay.
Then after that, you'd go back and have therapy sessions with your house for like 4 hours.
Okay.
So it was like mindfulness and all these different therapy sessions and stuff like that for 4 hours. And then you'd go to lunch. And then after lunch, you'd go to school from like 2 to 8 p.m. And then you'd go to dinner during school, come back. And then after that, you'd go back to the house and have like a little bit of free time if you didn't have any consequences.
Okay.
So it was like this huge whiteboard and everybody's name's on it. And if you have a consequence, you have to sit in a desk and you have to do work, or you have to go do a work project to work it off, or you have to like do something. Or if you don't, if you have free time, like at night, you can play ping pong or read books or stuff like that. Nobody will beat me in ping pong.
Really? Because you
took that shit really seriously.
I love that.
But that's like the normal day to day, and like in between that, you'll like meet with your therapist and stuff like that, and you'll get a phone call once a week, like with your family, but it's all monitored. So if you like try to tell them what's going on, they'll just hang up the phone.
Which I think is what Paris was talking about. Like she wasn't able to even express that.
Not at all.
Yeah, because they'll just hang up on you or
like
take their letters.
Every quarter, like your work quarter, like Q1, Q2, whatever, they'll have a parent day.
Okay.
And they'll have all the parents will come out, and we like for like 2 months before it, we'll like practice all these plays and do all like I mean, we got really good at horseback riding. Like, we had equine therapy and stuff like that. So that was something that like really took my mind off of a lot of things. That and running. They had a run team which I was on.
Yeah.
And so I did a lot of running, and I got really good at riding horses.
Yeah.
And I like was able to like train horses and stuff like that.
Wow.
So that was like the only couple of things like really was able to get my mind out of these places.
Yeah.
Whenever I see a horse, I'm just like, it like makes me go to like some sort of place and like just forget about everything.
So it's like in a good positive way.
Yeah.
It's not trauma.
Yeah, it was like one of the only things that like really like got me through like the days was just being able to like work with horses and like stuff like that. But during the days you like meet with your therapist and stuff like that. But I think like the most like traumatic part was just seeing like your friends and stuff in there just like be physically abused.
Yeah.
And I'll kind of go into that now. It's like my first huge one that I saw was my buddy. He was just arguing with his staff, and everybody was like in the center room. We were in the schoolhouse and we were watching like some sort of movie. All the kids are sitting in a schoolhouse and we're watching a movie, and he's just like arguing with his staff about something I don't know, and he tries to walk down the hallway, and there's like these double swinging doors. And he like goes around the door and tries to close the door, and the staff just like comes around and grabs him by the neck and just starts like choking him up against the door. And it's like 60, 70 kids in here watching this happen.
Yeah.
And then all the staff are like, get up. And we have to like run out of the building because it's called a code 9. They have like these radios.
Okay.
And it's like you'll hear code 9 like schoolhouse, code 9 South House, and all the staff will get up and just run.
Okay.
And then it's just like traumatic as shit. And
yeah.
like, don't want a code 9 called on you.
Right.
And he's just like choking him up against like the door, and then like brings him around the door, and some other staff come, and then they just like tackle him over this table in the schoolhouse, and like the table breaks and everybody's like freaking out. And that was like my first like true like watching somebody like other than myself, because I'd gotten restrained, but it wasn't like that. It was just like, okay, like get on the ground and stuff like that. But this was like, okay, like they can, to us, they can do whatever the fuck they want. There's nothing we can do about it.
Right.
And that just happened constantly, all the time. You just see kids just...
So are you like living in fight or flight at this point because you're just scared? Yeah.
Yeah, and you don't want to do something wrong because you just feel at any moment like you can either get taken down or you get put in separation. Like I was locked in a room for up to 2 weeks at a time.
Alone?
Well, you have one staff in there with you because they have to watch you.
Okay. But
you're not allowed to talk to them. Like
so it's just complete solitary.
Yeah, it's just like you get like a pencil and paper. You can do your schoolwork, or you don't have schoolwork, you just have to sit there.
Are you able to go outside at any point? No?
Well, if you go outside, they put you on a work project. Okay. So you have to like move rocks or like just bullshit.
Yeah.
And they put me on like this PTP because I was super defiant. Because I'm like, this point I'm like 9 months in.
Yeah.
And I'm just like, fuck this. Like I'm not... Like, I'm
you've
also like the
months.
most like stubborn person ever.
And you're also what, at like 16 at this point?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I'm like just so stubborn, and I'm like, fuck you guys. I'm not listening to you at all.
Yeah.
And like I'm just so done with everything that you guys have to offer.
Well, and do you even have like an end game? Like, do you know when you're going to get out?
No, you're not even allowed to talk about a leave date. You're not even allowed to talk about anything like that. Like,
so you're a 16-year-old, like with no end in sight. At some point,
you truly feel like you are going to be there forever. The only sight that you have is turning 18, is signing yourself out.
Okay, so you're
so some kids did that. They turned 18 in the program, and that day they woke up, I'm leaving. And they sign yourself out and they walk. Your brain is like a 16-year-old kid not knowing when you're going to leave. My only thing I'm looking forward to is turning 18 and getting the hell out of here.
Yeah.
Yeah, and like 9 months in, I was just being super defiant, and they put me on this personal treatment plan where I can only eat peanut butter and jelly sandwiches for breakfast, lunch, and dinner, and then an apple.
Is that just some way to like mess with you?
Just like we're in control.
Yeah.
And I, had to wear all red clothing. I wasn't allowed to talk to anybody. I was in separation. Or solitaire.
How can you not go crazy in a situation like that?
Yeah, and I just I lost a bunch of weight, and I can't tell my parents about it because they don't believe me. Or if I try to do it on the phone, they'll hang up the phone immediately. And I just I somehow got off that and was like, I'm just gonna fake the program. And it was like, I think like 16 months in, and I was like, I got to a high enough level where you can like go off campus.
Okay.
And I was like planning with my buddy. I'm like, okay, we're going to go off campus and we're going to run.
Yeah.
And this is where I was like, this is like the most adrenaline I've ever felt in my entire life.
Okay.
And it's my buddy Cooper.
So you came up with like an escape plan.
Yeah.
Okay.
And you're not allowed to talk about, like I got caught a couple of times talking about it, and then you get put in separation for a week and get put on what's called SOS.
Okay.
You're not allowed to talk, if you talk about that at all, or if you hear somebody talking about it, you have to tell on them, or else you get put on as well.
Wow.
So it's like nobody's safe. You can't trust any of your peers. And then your peers will also just tell on you to get good with staff, and then it's fucking crazy.
Yeah.
So we went to this play in like the middle of like Provo, and it was like this huge amphitheater outside, and you have to like wear these colored shirts with like Discovery Ranch on them, and all these people are there, and you like sit in a line, and there's a staff on each side.
Okay.
And like going off campus just felt so demoralizing as well.
Right. Well,
you're
if
just
you're
like
wearing that
a
shirt.
16-year-old kid, and like people in the community know that you're like from an RTC, and you're just like walking around in like a fucking line.
Yeah.
With like a 16-year-old kids, and like
it's embarrassing.
Yeah, it's awful, and you just feel like a complete outcast no matter what. But we went and we like sat down and they got snacks and stuff. We're like watching this play, and I'm like, look at bro. I'm like,
yeah, like let's go. Yeah.
And he's like, no, dude, I can't do it. I'm like, dude, like let's fucking go.
Yeah.
And you're not allowed to stand up without asking staff, or else they think you're doing something. So I stand up. I didn't ask. Everybody looks at me. I'm like, let's go. He's like, no, I have to tell on you. Because he has to, or else he's gonna get in trouble. And I'm like, so I like wasn't mad at him because
you understood.
Because I was like, okay. I was like, no, then go. So he goes. It was kind of a distraction, which was
okay.
In my mind, it helped a little bit. So he went to go tell, and I just hopped over these chairs, and I ran as fast. I had never run so fast in my life. Ran over these chairs. I ran, hopped this fence, and just ran. As fast as I could. I was probably gone for like a couple of hours, and
where'd you go?
I was just like running around. I was like hiding under cars and like stuff like that. And then I went into like this gas. I like tried to go to this gas station to our house in Park City was not that far. Well, I mean, it was far. It was like 2 hours away.
Yeah.
So it would have been. I'm like in my head. I'm like, okay, I'm gonna try to get to Park City. I know people there. Like I know a bunch of friends. I know a bunch of skater dudes who just probably let me crash or whatever.
Yeah.
Like I'll just get there, and I'm like running down, and I like turn the corner and I literally run directly into a police officer.
And you've got your shirt on.
Yeah, and he just like looks down and he's like, okay, get in the car. And then they like take me to like a church, like this church parking lot, and then the van pulls up from Discovery Ranch and they just like exchange me. And then put me back, and then I go get put in. I'm on SOS.
Yeah. So like, what's your punishment for that?
I'm in solitary confinement all day, 12 hours a day. I wake up. I have to sleep in the middle of like the house, and I like have my arms out and stuff like that. And then I'm on work projects at all times. Like if I'm not in solitary confinement, I'm out like doing work projects. They like were treating me really nice for some reason, and I was like, they like took me off all of the SOS and like put me in one of the back rooms or like, and I was like, okay, like I'm doing better. And then at like 4 a.m, like a couple of days later, I got gooned again. So they like brought transporters in and took me to a different wilderness.
Wow.
And this was 16 months in. Like I had ran a couple weeks before that, and so I was doing good, but I was still being defiant. But my buddy Cooper, who was going to run with me, like ended up graduating the program and leaving. And so he went home, and then I got sent back to wilderness, and he was like my best friend in there. And then I'm in wilderness. It's called Red Cliff. I'm probably in there for like 2 weeks or so, and they come and they take me. They bring me to like my own fire with my own staff, like miles and miles away from all other kids, and they put me there. And then my therapist drives out, and he's like, your friend Cooper killed himself when he got home.
Stop. And
they just like left me there for like 4 days with just one staff. I wasn't allowed to talk to anybody. I think they thought I was gonna like freak out or some shit.
Yeah.
But I'm like, how, like what, as like a kid, like the only way for me, I feel like, to even distract myself is to be around other kids and like try to feel normal or try to feel okay.
It's my heart so bad.
It's like they just like, they put me in my own fire for like 3 or 4 days and just let me.
With just that information.
And just let me sit there and think, and they'd come check on me. And I just like, I think I was literally silent for like 4 days.
Yeah.
Just like, what the fuck? And that's this like tattoo on my neck. It's his initials and then his his death date. After that, I was just like, what is this shit? What is this doing for anyone?
Well, that's what I was wondering. So do you think that helped at all when you got out? Do you think these camps actually work?
Yes and no. I think there's definitely a lot of, and like not all staff were bad.
Yeah.
There's a lot of ill intention. There's a lot of staff that wanted to power trip. There's a lot of staff. And mind you, all these staff that are there are only like 4 to 5 years older than you at some point.
Oh my gosh.
So it's like you have to be 21 to work there. And then they're in charge your entire life. So it's like you're really not that far off from like, now I'm 26. Like I hang out with like 21, 22, 23-year-olds. Sometimes it's like, those are like my friends. Like, I don't look at them any differently.
No.
So it's like, I mean, I get like there's a difference there, especially if you're like 16 and the person's like 21, 22, but you're really not that far off from like, you just grew up and now you're in charge of my entire life.
Right.
So it's like a lot of staff were there for the wrong intentions. A lot of staff were there to only get stuff on their resume for college, especially BYU and trying to get into BYU and doing all this stuff with that kind of culture and stuff like that. A lot of people just had the wrong intentions, and a lot of the staff really abused their power. But there were some really good staff, and there were some people I really respected, and some people who really didn't agree with the program but were there to try and help us. So there was a lot of people that I was able to confide in, but there was also more bad than good.
Right.
And I think that when you get out, the more bad than good overtakes most of the time.
Do you feel like that in your case?
Yeah, and we've had over 10 people that have killed themselves since left and overdosed and stuff like that, and very close friends of mine as well. It's like a lot of people, like a few people in my house and a few people I was really close with, and one of my best friends, Blake, too. I've told that story before. I won't tell it today, but it makes me like question how these places are still open, because all the stories are just negative.
Has anyone ever come out with anything positive?
Not that I know. I mean, we still have a group chat on Instagram of all the people that are still left, and it's so fucked up to say. The people that are still left. Like, we have people in the group chat that are still in the group chat. They're dead, and it's like their usernames are in there, and it's like, how it's crazy. And I just like, the biggest shock after these places, I was there for 26 months, is like, you come home. And that's what led into just this world of addiction for me. It's like you come home and you're
like in a new you're in like a new reality.
Everybody is graduating from high school and taking their SATs and getting into college and getting their life planned out. And I feel like I'm still 15. Like, the last thing I remember is being on this ski trip. And everybody has literally completed 15, 16, 17, 18, like the most
that
important...
actually makes a lot of sense.
The most important years of their life, the most important social years of their life, the most important, like for me, like growing times to have, especially with your parents. It's like, that's when you like grow from like children-parent relationship to like, not like friend, but you know what I mean? It's like, that relationship to where it's like, okay, like we like are walking kind of side by side now, rather than just like parent child. So I just feel like I didn't have any of that, and I was so confused when I came back into reality, because I'm like, I feel like I'm still stuck down here, like,
no, that makes so much sense
socially,
to me.
and like, and everybody's up here. So when I came back, I just like didn't know what the fuck to do. Plus, that's kind of what made me want to just like fit in everywhere, which I was just, oh my gosh,
cigarette summer. Cigarette summer.
Need some water.
It's a little drink break.
And that's also too, it's like I was adopted, and I've been on some other podcasts too, that I go really deep into that adoption piece of my life. Just like that acceptance piece of always needing to feel accepted, or always needing to feel like I need to do something to be included.
I get that.
That just amplified that 100 times more, because I'm like,
well, you feel so out of it too. That you just need to do what you can to try to survive and
and
fit in with people.
That's what, got me into drugs. Right. As soon as I got back, it's like, oh, you're supposed to be sober. You're supposed to do all these things. I'm like, fuck that. I don't want to feel anything.
No.
Like,
that makes sense.
And I'm also just traumatized. Like, when I got home, like super loud noises would like throw me off, or like running footsteps, because I was just...
You're scared.
I was just like thinking that like if I hear running footsteps in a house, it's like a staff or something like that. And I didn't really understand it for a while until I was able to like realize like, oh, these things are actually like affecting me. I just fell back into drugs really fast. And then I got involved with just like the wrong people. I started selling drugs. I started, putting myself in positions that, weren't the best, but at the time I thought they were okay, because I was, making money, and I was living a lifestyle that was fucking crazy, and I'm fucking crazy. And I'm a huge adrenaline junkie, and I thought it was okay, and it just kind of continued on worse and worse. In and out of relationships. I ended up dating this girl right when I got out, and she ended up getting pregnant, and she had the baby, and then I was super addicted to Xanax, and I just like wasn't even like, in my head at the time, I was so distant because I was like, how am I going to take care of a kid when I can't even take care of myself? And I was just so lost and gone in this addiction that I really just didn't even try early on. And that's something that I could look back and really regret on, or I could just take action and change now.
I think it's amazing.
Yeah. And that's just like, that was, a couple years of this just huge addiction and this huge just like pity me like bullshit. And then in 2021, I went back to rehab at this place called La Hacienda in Hunt, Texas, in Kerrville. And that's why I'm like so like sad about, what's going on in Kerrville and Hunt and stuff like right now too. It's because like that place like changed my life just a couple year and a half ago. So it just holds a really special place in my heart. It's just, devastating.
Tell me about how you found God and like because you're very vocal about that, which I love. How did that relationship come to be? And then just tell me about that.
I think a lot of it has to do with just this last time I went to rehab. I grew up in, I was adopted into an amazing household. I was adopted into an amazing family that, were very well off. And my dad was just, I call him a walking encyclopedia.
Yeah.
He just knew everything. Yeah. And I just, he was one of the most prized doctors in Texas. He was the first doctor. It was either in Texas or Austin that could read a CAT scan.
Okay.
The prized radiologist. He was chief of radiology in Austin for multiple years. And my mom is just super bright and brilliant. My sister's just like this perfect angel child. And like nothing against that, but she just like set the standard up here, and I'm just
hard
like
to meet.
Trying to like catch up.
Yeah.
So I think, growing up, it was, go to school, do your schoolwork, and then church every Sunday.
Yeah.
And I had always been to church, and I had believed in God, and I had put my hands in the air during services and went to church camp and cried and did everything everybody else is doing, but I never really had that moment of like
a personal,
I feel God in my life.
Yeah.
Like He is here. I never really pray or like talk to Him, or I would when I wanted something.
Yeah.
Like, God, please let me make the last basketball shot at the game.
Yeah.
Like as you're a kid, it's like you'll pray and be like, God, please give me this, give me.
Yeah.
And it's like, that's kind of all that I thought it was. It's like, okay, like it's like you're checking into church, like you're doing these types of things, like you're making it known that like I believe in God and I'm with a Christian family, and that's all it really was to me. And I didn't understand the impact that He could have on you at all. Until I realized that my life was unmanageable with the way that I was living.
Right.
And I had been, after I've been to those programs, and I got out and my son was born, and I was in this huge like just back and forth battle of addiction over, 7 years of my life, and 7 years of my son's life too, where I was just in and out and unable to, be a person that I wanted to be. And I went to rehab in 2021 just to like check off all the boxes at La Hacienda. The most amazing place in this entire world is La Hacienda. And for me, and like everything I say on this podcast is like, I always say this is just like my personal opinion, and whoever agrees with it, like great. And if you don't, like,
it's okay.
It's fine. But I just think like I went there in 2021. I just gotten out of a relationship too, and I just wanted to show that I wanted to get better.
Yeah.
And I was in that manipulative state again.
Yeah.
Like, okay, if I just go and do this, and if I check off all these boxes, and I, look good on paper, and I get my therapist to tell my mom and my dad I'm doing good.
Yeah.
It's like, okay, I can, get all the things back in my life, and I can earn this trust back, and, things will be better to my advantage than actually going and figuring out what the fuck's going on in my life and why I can't get out of this cycle of addiction and ruining all my relationships and stuff like that. And not like at the time trying to be a father when like I had no higher power at the time. Is like there's nothing other than myself that I look towards. And it's like they say in addiction, it's like selfishness and self-centeredness is like the biggest fault you can have. It's like if you get and let your ego control you, will fall every single time.
Yeah.
So for me, when I went to rehab this last time, it was 7 years of buildup of, going in and out of rehab, going through those programs, not being the person I wanted to be, being dishonest, stealing, lying, drugs, alcohol, just so many things. And then I started making music, and
you're crazy talented.
Thank you.
If we have time, I want to talk about it. Yeah.
I started making music, and I, was able to like find something behind a mic that I had never found before. And I've been making it for years and years, but I just like really fell in love with the ability to be myself when nothing else felt like I could. And that's when I first got like that summer, like 2023 is when I like got sober for a little bit, started making music and got signed, and, was really happy. And it was just kind of a build up. And then I was in a relationship at the time. And then my dad died. And when my dad died, and then like a month after that, my girlfriend and I at the time broke up. And I think it was just like a double whammy.
Yeah.
And I was in such just like a lost spot in my life that I just kind of shut everything out in my life. And I just dove straight way back into drugs and alcohol. And, I got to the point where I didn't care. I owed money to every single one of my friends, like spending all my money on drugs and alcohol and anything to make me feel what I didn't want to feel. And, just being so dishonest in my life. And it got to the point where I went out to my ranch too, and I, flipped my friend's car, and like it should have died if, we weren't in like I feel like the car that we were in, that like a Tesla, it saved us, because I feel like the impact of like the top of it kind of took all the impact.
Okay.
And I still didn't care. Like I was just happy like nobody got hurt, and I was like, that was close.
Right.
Like, that was God telling me, yo, wake the fuck up.
Yeah,
like,
but you were just like, oh.
I was just like, oh, cool. And then we went to Costa Rica the next week.
Like Cat with 9 Lives.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I was just like, oh, like you crashed your car or whatever. Haha, funny.
Yeah.
Like,
let's go to Costa Rica.
Let's go to Costa Rica. And when I was in Costa Rica, I was doing a lot of cocaine, and I got back, and it turned from like, oh, happy, fun, want to like a need, like I need it.
Yeah.
And like, I was like, and I just didn't care. And then it got to the point where I just felt so depressed waking up every morning that I just didn't want to. And I was sitting, really about to take my own life.
Yeah.
And in that moment, something, picked me up and drove me to my mom's house. And it was like an out of body experience.
Wow.
And, drove me to my mom's house, and I like watched myself. I like basically watched myself drive there, and like knock on her door, and she didn't even want me in the house at the time. Like, she was just like, because I'd like broken in and threw crazy parties, and she just didn't trust me at all. I just like, she like came out, and I just was like, Mom, like this is what I was about to do. Like I need help. Like if I don't get help, she didn't want to at first because she had done it so many times. She's like, I've helped you so many times. And I was like, Mom, like if I don't go get help, like I don't think I'm going to be here much longer.
Yeah.
And then 2 days later, I was back at La Hacienda.
Yeah. And
it was this desire. It was this exhaustion.
Yeah.
And then this just desire of, why can I not live my life the way I want to live it? And I was like, okay, I'm just going to pray. Like I just give up. Like I'm so done.
I think you get broken down so much that you can only just get down on your knees and pray. Like I've been there where it's just like, that's all you have. Really.
And then I had my God moment.
Okay. What's the God moment?
And it was like 3 or 4 days into the program, and I was just praying every day and just like so confused and like asking God. And I just remember I went to my bed and I got on like down on my knees, and I was just like, God, like show me a sign. Like show me, like my biggest thing is I just want to be honest.
Yes.
It's like, I just want to be honest. Like I can't live a life dishonest. And I was like, God, just show me a sign. Show me how I can be honest. Like show me that it's going to be okay.
Right.
And I went to lunch, and I was a little late because I was praying in my room, and I sat down at this table, and 8 months before that I had my first show at Superstition. It was like,
I've been there. That's so cool. Okay.
And it was like sold out, and it was like one of the best. It was one of the best nights of my life, but one of the most like nights I'd ever been alone, and like I'd felt alone.
Which is crazy because you're in a room full of
people that love me.
People.
Yeah, and like my closest friends were there, and it's just there was so much love in there, but I felt so alone. But the day before that, I had no money to my name, and I knew that, and I went to go get a haircut. And I didn't give a fuck. I was like, I'm going to look good for this concert. And I don't, I'm so selfish. I don't care. about anything. I went in to this place called Finley's and I got a haircut, and I knew I didn't have any money.
Yeah.
I just went up and I was like, oh, I left my wallet in the car, and I went out to my car and I left. I never thought about it again.
Yeah.
And then 8 months later, I'm sitting in rehab and I just prayed about just everything. And I went to sit down at this desk, or I went to sit down at the lunch table, and I'm listening to the conversation, and it's like the guy next to me is like talking about Finley's, and it sounds like he works at Finley's.
Okay.
I'm like, oh, fuck.
Yeah.
I'm like, I hope it doesn't work at the one that I walked out of.
Right.
Like, I'm going to feel like shit. And I was like, oh, like, do you work at Finley's? And the dude next to me goes, dude, that's Scott Finley. He owns them.
Oh, wow.
And in my head, I was like, this is my opportunity to like
be honest.
Be honest.
Yeah.
Just straight up be honest. And I just like,
easy.
thought about it for like an hour, and we had a group. And then after that, we were like walking outside, and I walked up to him and I was like, hey, I just need to tell you something. And I looked at him and I was like, I don't know what the fuck is going on. Like, I don't know what is happening, but I prayed earlier, and I'm in the need to tell you that like I stole from you. Yeah. And this was 8 months ago, and I told him what I did, and he just looks at me and he's like, I love you. Like, we're in here for the right reasons. Like, this was meant to happen. He just gave me a hug. And then he left a week later, and then the night before he left, he gave me a haircut in my room.
Stop. Yeah. I love that.
And then after that, I fasted for 3 days with my roommate, Colby.
Yeah.
And I got rebaptized in the Guadalupe River.
That's awesome.
And I just dove into my faith after that. And my biggest thing too is it was giving me the opportunity to wake up and feel a purpose that I never felt before, because it wasn't about me anymore.
Yeah.
And it was
Took you out of that.
Yeah, it was about something way bigger than myself, and that's what changed my life.
Okay.
Just realizing that, you know, my life's unmanageable and I can't do it on my own. Obviously, if you look at my track record, bro, like, you suck at living how you live by yourself. Like,
yeah.
Just don't try.
Yeah.
And like, I joke about that all the time, but it's so true. It's like, when I was able to put God first,
yeah,
everything else came together.
Yeah.
And it was just a big thing for me, because I had never felt that connection with God before, and it had been in my life for so long.
Yeah.
That I was wondering, like, how do you guys cry about this, and you guys like get on your knees and pray and scream, and I don't understand that. And now I'm just like, I get it. Like, I get it. Like, I can talk to him. I can talk to that. I talk to my dad. Like,
I love that.
I was able to like see another side, and it was just because it wasn't about me anymore.
Yeah.
And like, I'm done living a life to where it's like, okay, I still see myself sometimes, you know, get selfish and self-centered and stuff like that. But
it's always going to be a struggle.
Yeah.
You know, I think with anything like healing.
But now it's just, and the connections that I have and the relationships that I've built are so genuine.
Yeah.
And the conversations that I'm able to have, especially about God too, and people that are wanting to learn more too. Right. And I'm still learning.
Right.
And my buddy Reagan Popoff, an amazing dude. I always love to shout him out, because he's grown a really big platform on Instagram, and he uses it really well.
Okay.
And able to like really guide people towards God. And he's helped me a lot with, you know, just, you know, being open to understanding that he's always there for you no matter what.
Yeah.
And I started this little like broadcast thing on Instagram, and I posted it, and there's like 100 members. So Reagan did it, and that's like kind of what made me want to do it. And
just spreading good stuff.
Yeah. And you know, when I left rehab, I'd never written like a Christian song or something like that before. And my roommate was like, let's go up to the hill and let's just see what you can like. Just sit down and with the guitar. And up on this hill, it's called Serenity Hill, and it's just this huge hill underneath this big arch, and there's just this cross that's like hanging down. And we just went up there, and I just sat under the cross with the guitar, and this song was just written in like 15 minutes.
That's incredible.
And I was just like, I didn't write it. And like, when you leave rehab, you're supposed to give a speech.
Okay.
And instead of giving the speech, I just sang the song to all the patients and everybody in there. I just closed my eyes and I sang that song. And when I opened my eyes, every single person in that room was crying. And that's when I knew, like, okay, my purpose is way bigger than just myself.
and you can impact. Well, we have to wrap it up. So I'm going to put your social so they can check out your music, because we didn't even get to talk about that.
Yeah.
But I appreciate your vulnerability so much, because what I love about people that have gone through hard things is it gives them depth and empathy. And it's a quality that a lot of people lack. And I don't really want to be around people that haven't experienced hard stuff. So I've talked to you, we don't even have to get into it, about how my mental health struggled the last couple years. But when you're in darkness, when we wrap it up, if someone's in the throes of depression or addiction, what is something that you would suggest to them now that you're on the other side?
They call it the 10,000 pound phone.
Okay.
That's what they call it in recovery. And it's when you're in those situations and you're in a time where you feel like you have nothing, picking up that phone and calling somebody near to you feels so heavy. And that's called the 10,000 pound phone. And it's I just urge you just to if you're feeling some type of way, just call somebody. It doesn't matter who, and I know in that moment somebody's going to pick up.
Yeah.
Because, God is walking with you, and he's going to give you the opportunity to understand why you're going through that. And I think the biggest thing also is just you're not alone.
Yeah.
I think I felt so alone my entire life just because of the situations that I was in. And, I didn't see the opportunities that God was giving me. I just saw, everything that I could take advantage of.
Right.
And I think just a good way to practice is just understanding, how grateful you can be, and not taking the little things for granted, because it's, just like I said, with my group of guys, it's we haven't done anything extravagant, crazy this summer. We're not flying to Bali and going on private jets and posting all these things I see all over the internet. It's just,
you're just hanging.
We have a Saturday and we go on the boat, and, we just hang out and go to dinners, and, it's just the people that you surround yourself with, that you are able to open up to and give them all of you, will make you happier than anything you could ever, dream about and post about and, want. And, just being able to also just put God first in your life. And just knowing that you don't have to do it alone. Because if you have God first, everything will fall into place. And I know some people, they don't, it's not their thing. And I just urge you to find a higher power or something that's bigger than yourself, because, the selfishness and self-centeredness in your life of your ego will always make you tumble.
I agree. Well, thank you for being so open.
Yeah,
I'm always your biggest fan.
Yeah,
I love Hayden the Dilf. So, Cigarette Summer, baby. Thank you so much for coming on the podcast. I know that you're going to influence and help other people. So I just appreciate you being so open and vulnerable.
Thank you. And if, anybody ever has any questions, or, my DMs and Instagram are always open.
And I'll make sure I put your Instagram on the show notes.
And if you ever you can even, I don't even care, you can even put my number. If people need help, or they are thinking about sobriety, or they're just having a hard time and just need somebody to talk to that's been through something, just call me. I'll answer.
Oh, I love that. Well, thanks, Hayden.
Yeah.
Right.